The movie in question is Tyler Perry's new movie, Mea Culpa. The first issue that I had was plot holes and story inconsistencies. It felt like I was left wondering what just happened and how are we into something new. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nisa Priscilla if you're new here and you didn't know, and if you did know, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. As you can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be doing a movie review, my very first movie review. I truly can't explain to you how many movies I actually spend time watching, and I feel like I'm low-key a movie critic, but this may be something that I start on my channel. I just had to get this one out, okay? The movie in question is Tyler Perry's new movie, Mea Culpa. The movie in question is Tyler Perry's new movie, Mea Culpa. It's on Netflix. If you watch your movies other ways, then you can watch it that way too. But I'm about to just get into it. I have notes, okay? Because I feel like Tyler Perry does a really good job of creating movies that will get a conversation going, which has been his angle for years now. We have like Woman Thou Art Loose, for Color Girls, we have the movie with Charles, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Those are movies that I remember watching when I was younger, and then getting older I saw like Temptation and I saw Acrimony, and those movies I'm like, okay, it's like a trend. Like Tyler Perry has a trend of films that he creates, and at the age of 25, like, I just can't relate. His genre is not for me. I feel like his genre is not for a lot of our generation. Like, he knows exactly who he's making his movies for, and the other people who have opinions like me are just people who enjoy cinema and, you know, watching other movies to kind of take ideas or see what not to do. So let me just backtrack a little bit and share the issues that I have with the movie to begin with. So I'm going to share each of them, and then I'm going to get into them specifically. The first issue that I had was plot holes and story inconsistencies, ending scenes without really wrapping the scene, and opening up scenes without really setting up the scene. The second one, making Trevante Rhodes look like a bad actor. And I'm going to get into that. The third one, Kelly Rowland. That's all I got on that one, but I'm gonna get into it, like I said. And the fourth one, his storytelling. Like, why do black women never get a happy ending in a lot of his movies? And like I said, it feels like it's geared toward a certain age group, and that's okay. That's just not my age group, you know? But it feels like there are a certain group of women who have lived the way that the women in his movies live. They can relate to that, but me, I'm not living like that. I won't ever live like that. I'm gonna try and do this without too many spoilers, but if you haven't watched the movie yet and you plan to, I would suggest watching the movie or just knowing that there are gonna be spoilers involved. Just a few though. So the movie starts with Kelly Rowland, and she's Mea in the movie, and her husband Cal, they're in couples therapy. And there we learn that he lost his job, he won't tell his family about it, and Mea is supporting him and taking care of his mom's medical bills, who has cancer and all this other stuff. From there, we transition into Mea like walking into a dinner for Cal's mom, and the mom, she's the white woman. Kelly Rowland's obviously black, and Cal is like a mixed man, maybe. But the mom is white, and she's mad disrespectful to Mea. Cal doesn't really stand up for Mea. The woman that Mea brought up in couples therapy, she saw Cal holding her hand in a coffee shop. She's at the dinner, and the mom is like basically trying to put her son and the other girls together, even though her son and Mea are married. So the mom is just mad disrespectful. The way that Cal doesn't stand up for Mea leads me to point 4. It's just like women always really have, there's no like happiness for black women in a lot of Tyler Perry films. And it's kind of just like, there are a few, like, don't get me wrong, there are a few, but it's just like, why does it always feel like so much trauma is geared around those situations and relationships that black women have in Tyler Perry movies? There's not really ever a positive example of black love and black relationships. And for him to be such a pioneer in the Black community and Black cinema, it's just, okay, that may be your steez, or that may have been your steez when you started, but can we maybe try to venture into something different that shows us in a different light? That's how I feel. Looking back, however, I will say that Cal not sticking up for Mea to his family, his brother, his mom, does play into the plot twist at the end of the movie. So I guess, but even still, the plot twist just fell so flat to me. But that's not necessarily where we are. I just question, why is that always the writing idea? Like, Taraji P. Henson in Acrimony never really got her happy ending. She held that man down through all of the stuff that he was going through, and then, now, like, don't get me wrong, Taraji P. Henson was wilding in that movie, but like, she held him down, and it became it got to be a lot, and so she left, and he bossed up, and it's like, of course she would feel some type of way about that, but she never really got her happy ending. Why was it written for her not to get a happy ending? That's my thought process with this. Or like Temptation, when Journey Smollett cheated on Lance Gross with that other guy, and she ended up getting AIDS, and he was abusive. It's just like, dang, why couldn't it have just been a very loving Black romance? But that's not who he is, and it's just like, but why are you not like that, sir? So on top of storytelling just being painful, it was bad storytelling as well. And that leads me back to point one. Like I said, I'm an avid movie watcher. I watch a lot of movies, different genres. Like, I'll watch true crime. I've watched, like, recently 2 based on a true story wrestling documentary films. Really good, by the way. I'm not really a horror girl anymore because horror movies just kind of suck these days. I watch dramas, thrillers, comedies. I really enjoy watching movies, and I really enjoy a good story. I enjoy reading a book because it has a good story. I'm also a writer myself, and the most important part of my writing is to ensure that the story is told seamlessly and the reader is not left confused or questioning what just happened, what's going to happen, why did this happen. A lot of the times in Mea Culpa, there will be a scene cut, and it felt like the scene hadn't been wrapped up. It felt like I was left wondering, what just happened and how are we into something new? What happened there? How do we finish that up over there? And it was very inconsistent. Like, it jumped in, then jumped out, jumped in, then jumped out. And I'm like, bro, can we finish? It's like you start talking and then I'm about to go to get food. Like, you what? Finish that statement. It was like thoughts weren't being finished before we started a new thought watching the movie. For example, there was a rated R scene where we saw Trevante Rhodes, who is Zaire in the movie, having rated R relations with a white woman, and Mea walks in on it. Prior to that, Mea walks in and he's like, you know, I'm trying to be with you, basically. You're not trying to have that leave. So she goes to leave, and then I guess she has an inner monologue and she comes back up. Okay, just a disclaimer that when Mea went back to her car after seeing Zaire and the white woman, she got a call from her private investigator that said Cal and the woman that Cal's mom was, you know, dangling in her face were in a hotel room together. And that's what made Mea decide she was going to get her lick back and go mess with Zaire. And he's having the rated R relations with the white woman. He tells the white woman to get off of him. I'm thinking, okay, I guess they're about to have their own rated R relation, Mea and Zaire. But instead they get on his motorcycle. They drive around for maybe 20 minutes. I don't know the time frame here. And then they come back to his crib and they have their own rated R relation. So, first of all, did she make Zaire take a shower? Because you just watched him tell a white woman to get off of him, and then you got on top of him 30 minutes later, maybe? Did you make him take a shower? Those are small things that, like, maybe one wouldn't think to put that in a film, but if I'm writing a book or I'm writing a story, I would make that very clear. And some have an argument that he wrote that to make you, like, yell at the screen, like, girl, you need to, but it's just like, I just look at that as in, something is missing here. This was a very empty scene. What was the point of riding a motorcycle at this very moment to then come back to where you all left to ride a motorcycle, didn't go get food, didn't get drinks, didn't run to the corner store. They just rode the motorcycle and came right back and then got to their rated R relations. Why? What was the point? How did we end with him seeing the white woman just left? Mea was okay with being second, even though she's feeling like she's second in her relationship. Like, I just didn't understand it. There were things that were shown that weren't expounded upon. Like, there was a rated R dungeon underneath Zaire's loft. Why did we need to see that? It didn't do anything for the plot. If anything, it just showed that Zaire enjoyed strange rated R relations, which is something that he had said earlier, but it essentially had no importance to the story, which is really upsetting, and also kind of left me like confused. Like, if we maybe could have seen them in there together, I guess, or him introducing Mea to new things and kind of bringing her out of her shell, but just to show them walking through it, him in front of her, her following him, it just didn't make sense to me. I would say that things just felt very unrealistic, and I think the art with movies is making a fiction feel so good, feel so real that it could be real life. And so people are calling it like a thriller, and then they're also mixing it with like a Zane erotica type of thing. And some people have compared it to Gone Girl, which isn't super off-brand, a little bit. Obviously Gone Girl isn't much erotica, and Mea Culpa had a little bit, but even though Gone Girl was like outrageous, Gone Girl still felt like it could be real. It very much felt like a woman could be fed up to her max and like just simply fake her death. People do fake their deaths. So it wasn't super outrageous. And even if those things don't happen, Gone Girl was so good that it felt like, dang, I'm trying to look up in what instances does this happen, or has this ever happened before. Gone Girl was really enthralling. I didn't even want to look away. Like, I might watch Gone Girl when I'm finished this because it was just that good. It's a really good movie. This was just poor writing, poor acting. Don't get me started on the end of this movie. Like I said, the plot twist could have been really good, but it started off really bad from just one specific part. Without sharing the whole movie, if you have a brother-in-law that quite literally is menacing and degrading and taunting and doesn't seem to care about anything but their career, you think a break in your case is going to mean anything to him, and then you trust him when he tells you to leave your vacation in Mexico or the Dominican Republic to go back to his house with the mother who disrespects you and him and your supposed husband who you haven't had any interest in speaking to since you've been out of the country. It just, I guess. And when I finished the movie at the very end, I just didn't understand why Mea had done everything that she had done for the movie to end the way that it did. It felt like all of her actions were quite literally in vain, and there was essentially no benefit for her, which is, again, like, why would you write this for the woman to not get anything out of this film except for feeling like a trash wife, a potential divorce we don't know, don't even get to be with a man who she feels like she would have been with had she not met her husband. Like, so what did Mea get out of this? What did the black woman get out of this? That's all I want to know. Speaking of Mea, someone called this her acting debut, and it's not. So she was in the Freddy vs. Jason movie, which, like, a small part, but she also was a lead in a movie with Dwayne Martin, and I had to look that up because I thought this was her debut lead role, because I knew about Freddy vs. Jason, but yeah, this was not her first, you know, lead role. I will say that she acts very similarly to her bestie in Obsessed. I think I think the only good acting in Obsessed came from Idris Elba. I'm sorry. That is something that I have felt for years. No one will change my mind on that. That's exactly how the acting was in this movie. It was almost painful to watch. Someone said that Gabrielle Union could have done that role, and I do see that, but then again, I also don't, because Gabrielle Union's a pretty good actress. And granted, Kelly Rowland could be a pretty good actress, but I think the writing thwarts that whole moment and kind of takes away from the actress, period. I think poor acting has a very direct impact on how well the actors can do. Like, you can kind of only do but so much with what you have, and that's very well proven with Trevante Rhodes in this movie. He's done Moonlight, in which he acted like a a man from the hood, a hood N-word. He acted like someone who's used to being in like hood environments and kind of was like presented himself as a hood type of man, hood type of dude. And then he did Bird Box, which showed his range. And then he does this. And I'm just like, it feels like he's trying to be Moonlight and Bird Box merged into one. And he's just trying too hard. But it's frustrating because I've seen him do really well in other movies. But it fell flat for me in this movie every single time. And that was really frustrating for me because I truthfully only watched this movie because I love that man. Love that man. And I see this and I'm like, who is this? Who is this man? There was no character development. I could barely even get attached to the characters, even if they're bad. I didn't care about the characters because there was no character development. All in all, I'm just gonna say that Mea Culpa was a movie that was specifically for that genre of women who like Tyler Perry movies. And me being in my generation coming up, I think we are seeing a lot of the holes in the film, as well as not solely watching things just for entertainment anymore, but like, is it actually good? Yeah, the plot is wow, and there were rated R scenes, ooh, but like, was this good? Was I confused? Did I understand the story? Like, was the plot solid? It wasn't. So I truly just rate the movie a 4 out of 10. It's not something that I would watch again. It's not something that I would recommend. But again, let me just state that this is an opinion. So tread lightly, be kind, because we all have an opinion. I would love to hear you all's opinion in the comments. So feel free to comment down below. Subscribe to my channel for maybe a few more movie reviews or TV show reviews. I'm not sure. And like this video. And like I said, comment down below your opinions because I really want to talk about it with somebody. So thanks for tuning into my channel and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.